Yes, I've been talking about this for a really long time, but it's time that I quit procrastinating and start building some new ramps. As you can see, I've gone huge with this. The old monster truck ramp is in the background there. This ramp is going to be huge. But I wanted to talk a bit about how I went ahead and started creating these ramps, and then we're gonna go out and do a little test run with them. So like I said, this is all modular. So I started with just this base box here. Went with a pretty nice size. That way the LMT and the SMT10 can actually sit on top of it. The plan was to make these ramps big enough to accommodate any RC that I have. So LMT, SMT10, Arma Notorious, and even the X-Max. The X-Max will actually sit up on top of this box, believe it or not, if that gives you a bit of a scale of how big I'm actually going with this. Next up, I went with a bit of a kicker. Now this isn't complete, this isn't how it's gonna look finished, but the main point was to get the structure and the face of the ramp built so that I could test it, see how my angles and slopes are, and how the trucks will launch off of it. I am using some pretty thin 1/8 inch plywood for the face of these ramps, but rest assured, I have a lot of support underneath here. That way, hopefully none of these trucks will be busting through the faces. Again, a lot of this is rough right now, but I just wanted to get the main structure done so I could test it out and make sure the trucks will jump off of it the way I want. Finally, the last piece we have for today is this larger ramp. We took basically the dimensions of my original ramp back there and kind of scaled it up a bit. I wanted to be able to launch the trucks a little higher, a little further, and then obviously the little kicker right off the back of the table here should make for some pretty cool stunts, hopefully jumping from that little kicker onto this taller ramp, using it as a landing ramp, as well as maybe hitting some backflips from the table to this little kicker. Like I said, that's all just in theory. That's the point of today, is to test this out and see if I got the angles and the slopes correct for the ramps to work like I wanted. If they do, we'll go ahead and finish up the aesthetics of them, I guess you could say, and finish them off really nicely. And I also have some plans for 2 more ramps, one here and one on this side as well. Like I said, we'll be able to hit it from all 4 sides. This will be a pretty big ramp. I want everything to be modular, so it's nice and easy to store here in my little bitty shed. And once we have all of the ramps built, we'll go ahead and figure out a way to secure them all together for when I got them out in the yard. Nothing's coming apart when I'm hitting jumps. We're gonna be trying it out with the low-C LMT today. I'm only gonna run it on 2S, although I really love running this truck on 3S. Mainly wanna see if 2S power is enough for this truck to clear from the little launch ramp here all the way to the other side and land on the other side. If you have any questions or comments on these ramps, please leave them down in the comments below. I'm just building all of this on the fly, but let's go out there and see what this truck can do on these ramps. We're not going to ramble on too much here, but it's definitely pretty obvious right away that something to secure these ramps, or the pieces of this ramp in total together, will definitely help. You can kind of see some of them coming apart on some of the harder hits. That first little launch ramp, the shorter one, I think could benefit from a little bit of taller legs. That's why I never finished off the sides yet, just in case I needed to. Adjusted it all. You can see there's a little lip there. The tabletop, as I'm calling it, definitely needs to be screwed to the structure, not just nailed. That'll keep it more secure. The biggest question I have now is on the bigger ramp with the launch ramp and the little kicker off the table. I'm not sure what exactly I want to do with it yet. It works perfectly fine just like it is, as you can see. I really enjoy pulling these backflips off of it and using that launch ramp as a landing ramp, but I was also kind of hoping that this could be used as just a little step up, I guess, and kind of do a sky wheelie off of it, nose over it. It seems like all it's good for really is a backflip ramp. The other thing is the launch ramp itself. I'm struggling to tell here. The angle is too steep, or it's just that the plywood surface is just too slick right now. I don't seem to be getting as much air as I was hoping for. That could very well be just the surface being slick and not having enough traction to launch up the ramp like I'd like. Or maybe it could be the angle being too steep, like I said, and losing a lot of momentum when hitting it at speed. Besides that, I can see a lot of potential for some pretty cool stunts just with this section of this ramp that I've built so far. And I'm really excited to get the other parts built as well. Overall, I think we have a great start here for some pretty solid and pretty sweet ramps. Like I said, a lot of potential for some pretty cool stunts. Hopefully some nice air off of the big jump and some fun things with the other two ramps that I have planned for either side of this box. I'm curious if you guys have any other suggestions other than the things that I've mentioned so far on what I could do to improve these ramps, or if there's anything you'd do differently. I definitely need to figure out what I want to do with this ramp here. I could go ahead and make this angle a little nicer, a more gradual slope. We really don't need this much of a lip on top. That doesn't do us any good. So I could slope this all the way back to probably about an inch before this little kicker, or if I really want to get rid of the kicker slash what's going to be a backflip ramp, I guess, I could end up sloping this a little more this way. I think I'm sort of leaning towards changing the slope of the main face of the jump, but let me know what you think down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're excited to see more monster truck action on the channel, because there will definitely be more once this ramp is all complete. Hopefully we can have a lot of fun with all of this. It was fun in the yard just in the state it's in now, so I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty interesting once everything's in place and we can have some more stable jumps and a lot of variety for stunts. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you have any comments or questions about the ramps in general or suggestions, make sure to leave a comment down below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And as always, thanks again for watching. Peace.